Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to everyone who is watching live at home. You are joining us for day 2 of the British Swimming Championships 2017. My name's John Mason. I'm going to be your host down here in the studio for this event, and what a night of swimming we've got for you. Last night was incredible, and we're hoping that tonight is going to be just as good. Now, I'm being joined by someone very special here. She's been in this position, the position of a lot of these athletes many times before, Kerry-Anne Payne. This is a qualification event, so why don't you sort of talk everyone at home through what that means in terms of the events they're trying for?
Yes, there's 4 qualifications that we do that you can qualify for at this competition. We have the World Championships, which are in Hungary. There's also the World Junior Championships. Then there's European Junior Championships, and then there's the European Youth Olympic Festival. So all of it happening all around the world at different times.
So obviously it's 3 different age groups, but in terms of the senior qualification, the people at home are going to be seeing 2 separate times on their screens, aren't they? The qualification time and the consideration time. So talk us through what that means.
So the 2 times are the consideration time, which is the first one, the quicker one. That gives you automatic entry. The second time is within 2% of that qualification time, which is very much a consideration time. And that we'll only find out which athletes have made the team well after the competition is finished.
Absolutely. Now, just to clarify at home, that is just for the senior finals. Of course, the junior qualification process is a completely different thing. For more information, do, of course, check the website. Now, it's not just about crowning the new British champion here, this event. It's also about inspiring the next generation of swimming superstars. And Kerry-Anne was lucky enough to catch up with one of our spectators earlier on in the day. So let's take a look at that.
I'm Kerry-Anne Payne, and I am here with one very special young lady, Lois. So, Lois, tell me what you've been doing today.
I've come here to watch the British swimming champions and see how well they swim.
Do you swim yourself? Is that why you came here today?
I came here to encourage myself to swim more and get better.
Amazing, so you are already a swimmer. So what swimming club do you swim for?
I swim for Sheffield Swimming Club.
And I heard that you might have gone over and asked Siobhan Marie O'Connor some questions. What did you ask her this morning?
I asked her if she's always out of breath when she's been in the swimming lesson and training. She said that sometimes when it's been a hard session she is, but sometimes she has recovery sessions to make feel better, and she likes them the most.
Wow, so you came here, you got to see Adam Peaty swim, and you got to learn a lot of things about swimming in general. So we hope that we'll see you here with us in a couple of years' time. But for now, it's back to you, John.
There you are. How adorable. You never know. We might be seeing her out here in the years to come. Now, Kerry-Anne, this is your first day today. You weren't here yesterday. You're in on the heats this morning. What did you make of them, and who should we be keeping an eye out for tonight?
I love seeing the juniors swim at these competitions. It's first year after the Olympic year. Everything's maybe a little slower. We're actually not really seeing that. We had a British record, but she was a youngster that did a British record last night. But this morning we've got someone called Sophie Yodel. She's doing, I think it's the 50 butterfly tonight. She had a great heat this morning. She should be in the youth final, the junior final, but she's actually the fastest in the senior final. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she gets on. And I think everyone's looking forward to seeing how Adam Peaty does in that 50. I think he thinks he's got a world record in him. We all think he's got a world record in him. I can't wait to see that happen here in Sheffield.
Well, I know I'm certainly excited about that. He's got a lot of fans in the crowd tonight. For those of you at home who did miss the heats this morning, we've put together a little video to catch you up on all the highlights of what happened today. Let's check it out.
Yesterday's activity, only one qualifying time was achieved, but so close on many others. So let's turn our attention to day number 2 of the British Swimming Championships 2017. Now, 19-year-old Kathleen Dawson qualified fastest from the women's 100 metres backstroke event, but knows she needs to take nearly a second off her personal best to drop under the qualifying time of 58.76. Jessica Fullerlove, now swimming out of Bath, will go from lane 5 in the final after her 60.74. James Guy retained his 400 metres freestyle title last night and set up the fastest time in the heat of the 200 fly this morning. He's 1:59.04, just 3/10 quicker than Joe Litchfield, who swam in the same heat. He's also looking very good, but can he stop James Guy? British record holder in the women's 200 metres breaststroke is Molly Renshaw. She settles for a place in lane 3 in tonight's final after a good swim from teammate Jocelyn Ulyett, and Chloe Tutton, whose 2:24.96 puts her from Cardiff in lane 4, ready to defend her title. Chris Walker-Hebburn, fresh from winning the men's 50-metre event, was the man to beat again, this time over 100 metres in the backstroke. The same heat saw Xavier Mohammed go second quickest too. You have to say that the most open final tonight will be the women's 50 metres fly. Charlotte Atkinson had the quickest entry time going into the competition, but will start in 5 after a really good swim by City of Derby youngster Sophie Yendel, the Odie lady, inside 27 seconds. How might she laugh? Now enter Adam Peaty. He secured his target time in the 100 last night. Yeah, this morning swam a 26.62 in his heat. That's just 2/10 off his own world record. Simply phenomenal. There are other words you can use for him as well. Mark Campbell of Aberdeen was the closest to him, clocking 27.70 in his quest for a podium finish.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost ready to get our races underway. Don't forget, if you're at home watching, or wherever you are, even if you're on the move, we want to hear from you guys. So tweet to us, hashtag BSC17. That is the hashtag across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And of course, if you like what you see, do of course give us a like and a subscribe on our YouTube page. Now, the events that are happening tonight, we've got quite a few. It's going to be an exciting night. But let's take a look of tonight's program. Let's see how it's going to pan out. First up, we've got the women's 50-metre butterfly. Keep an eye out for Charlotte Atkinson in that. She got bronze in 2015. She had a great swim this morning. She might be able to do it again. Next is the men's 50-metre breaststroke. Of course, Adam Peaty, world record holder in this event. Let's see if he can break it here at Sheffield. After that, it's the women's 800-metre freestyle. Jazz Carlin swimming, silver medal in Rio. She's definitely one to watch. Then it's the men's 200-metre butterfly. James Guy, he got gold last night. Can he do it again tonight? After that is the 100-metre backstroke for the women. Georgia Davis, she's the British champion and a 2-times Olympian. She was out here this morning, giving it her all. Is she going to do it again this evening? The women's 200-metre breaststroke is next with Molly Renshaw. She's a Rio Olympian, a Commonwealth Games medalist, definitely one to watch. And finishing up with the men's 100-metre backstroke, Chris Walker-Hebben, who won the 50 last night. Tonight, he's going for that qualification for Budapest in the summer. Let's see if he can do it. I think we're about ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to hand you over to the commentators. We're going to get our first race underway, and I shall see you back here very, very soon. Enjoy the night.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the British Swimming Championships 2017. My name's Alan March. Alongside me, the very wonderful, you've already seen her once actually, Kerry-Ann Payne. Good evening.
Good evening, Alan.
It was great to have you with me this morning. We saw all of the heats, and what was great was the whole idea between the junior finals and the Target Tokyo finals is that we start to see some good youngsters coming through. Actually, forget that. Why swim in the junior final and the Tokyo final if you can be quick enough to swim in the senior final? And we've got quite a bit of that.
We have tonight. We've got some real treats tonight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how all these youngsters get on. This is the dream that British swimming had, that this year, all the athletes, those young athletes that have been part of that Tokyo final for the last 2 or 3 years, are now starting to go, you know what, I don't need to win that one. I actually want to try and fight for medals in the senior one, and who knows, fight for medals to win it or to come second and then to go to the World Championships. Amazing.
We're always talking about inspiring people. If Rio hasn't inspired people, I have no idea what's going to do it for them. But it clearly has. The youngsters have turned out in force here at the British Championships. We were talking openly yesterday and this morning about certain swimmers we've been having chats with, or coaches who are pointing out youngsters that they've got maybe only doing 5 or 6 or 10 hours a week training, but they're here already on just a limited amount of training, or maybe just a limited amount of exposure. They're already starting to turn up. Good afternoon. Welcome to you wherever you are. If you're watching on the BBC Red Button, if you're watching on YouTube or the British Swimming website, wherever you are in the world watching, we've had people as far as Kenya, Australia, America, Milton Keynes and Derby, wherever you're from around the world. Thank you very much for joining us. And do get in touch with myself and Kerry-Ann. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag stream as well on Twitter. Get them into us. Yasmin Perry will go in lane 1 here of our first event of the night, which is the women's junior 50 metres butterfly. Alicia Wilson of Guildford goes in lane number 2. 3 is Pia Murray of Ellesmere College. Titans massively on the side of her head there. In lane 4, Emily Large of Newcastle. She went large, got the best time for the junior final, goes in 4. Jasmine McRae goes in 5. She represents Paul in the yellow cap there. This is Kiana McInnes of Heart of Midlothian. She goes in 6, 7. Then is Anna Fleming, City of Glasgow, with the blue cap. And right on the end, Caitlin Hubbard, City of Birmingham. She goes in the last lane in 8. So don't worry about being in 8 and 1. We've seen quite a few lane surprises. We've seen quite a few surprises in general.
Yeah, now that they have lane 9 and lane 0, actually doesn't really matter what lane you're in, because you don't have the walls on the end to you know, to stop you or to cause any waves or anything. So it really doesn't matter what lane you're in.
So here we are then. Ponsford International Sports Centre here in Sheffield. Been home to some big championships over the last decade or so. And here we start tonight's day 2 coverage with a 50 fly event that Emily Large will want to win, and does. 27.30. It's better than her personal best, so it's a brand new PB for Emily Large. The age record for a 16-year-old is 27.12, so trying to get there. Is Emily Large, only just turned 16 as well in February, so plenty of time for her to keep impressing. There are the results, Kerry-Ann Payne.
Yeah, so we had Emily Large there from Newcastle winning that, which was great. Jasmine McRae was second, and Kiana McInnes was third from Hearts of Midlothian, which is a great result for those girls. Interesting, I mentioned earlier in the top of the show that Sophie Yodel, she should have been in that final there, but she's decided not to go to that one, not to go to the Tokyo one, and not to go, you know, she's decided to go in for that open final, and she is absolutely #1 spot so far.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what we were saying a little bit earlier on. You know, if you're young enough and you're good enough, who cares what final you're in? If you can get to the senior one, go for it. 27.06 is how Sophie Yendel turned up to these championships. She'll go in our senior final. And get this, our senior final, aged just 15, and I mean only just turning 15. She's got the big lane. She's got a new age record. Maybe, just maybe, we've got a very quick 50 butterfly star on our hands at 15. However, let's turn our attentions to the Tokyo final, which, of course, don't get me wrong, Yendel will already have the selectors scurrying around and wondering what we can do with her next, but they'll also be keeping an eye on this one. Let's take a look at the lineup then. So Chiara Standing from Stockport Metro goes in lane 1, Harriet Jones, Cardiff in 2, in 3. Emily Horn from Glasgow. See her there, just adjusting the starting blocks. Catherine Stark of Aberdeen next to her, doing exactly the same. Let's go for the hat-trick. Lane 5, Harriet West of Loughborough. Just those last moment checks. Uniform, start blocks, Molly Allen, City of Peterborough. The arms start to swing as these youngsters get ready. There's only 7 lanes here. Beth Aitterson, Loughborough University. Related to one Dawn Pert. And these ladies, it's a big moment, isn't it?
It is, it really is. It's the second final of the night and is a final. There's no semi-finals here, straight into finals. And these girls have got a really good opportunity to make the World Juniors or the European Juniors. So it's a really, you know, for them, it's a really key part of their next stage in their progression from juniors up to the seniors. And Katie Stark, for instance, she was from my old swimming club Warrender. She's now at the University of Aberdeen, and just found out she's also now back at home in Edinburgh again. She spent the last 2 weeks there with her exams, with her kind of university done. So interesting to see how she does. Not the best start that she could have had there, but I know that she's got a really good back end on this last part, of, even on a 50, really good back end.
West of Loughborough looking quite good. So too Horn of Glasgow, but it is West. 27.43. We've got to wait for Horn's time to come through here. How will that affect the standings? I don't think it's going to. It should be West from Stark from Allen, but we do have to wait for all the confirmed results before we can call that. But Harriet West indeed is our winner. Catherine Stark gets the second position. Katie, I believe you called her this morning. Kerry-Ann, and then Molly Allen coming in third. So West, Stark and Allen, as I said a moment ago, up on the screen as well. So let's go and have a quick chat with John Mason, shall we?
There you are, guys. Our first 2 races underway have finished. We've had the juniors and the Target Tokyos. They are done. It is now the seniors' turn. It's the 50-meter fly. It's fast, it's furious, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's check it out.
So Bruce, Stevens, Anderson, Atkinson, Yendel, Thomas, Mills and Matos is the lineup that's going to come out in just a couple of moments' time. Not a qualifying event, however, if you can showcase your skills here, regardless of whether it's an Olympic event, it is swum at various events around the world. It's not a qualifying event here. This is still big for Sophie Yendel, isn't it?
It totally is. This is still an opportunity, if she does make the team on maybe the 100 fly or the 200 fly, that she could get the opportunity to swim this race at the World Championships, because it is there, it's just not a qualifier. The reason we don't do 50 fly, 50 back, 50 breast is because they're not Olympic events, and so it's not really a focus for us as a nation. And I do also have to apologise for Sophie. I kept calling her the wrong name. Sophie Yendel. I'm really looking forward to seeing how she gets on in this 50.
She's brand new to all of us. So Matos and Mills. This is Elise Thomas, who at 26 swam 27.10 this morning. Her personal best is showing us a 27.03. Here we go then. Yendel completely surprised everybody this morning. City of Derby have another gem maybe in their locker. Charlotte Atkinson of Loughborough University. Freya Anderson from Ellesmere in 6. Laura Stevens, Plymouth Leander, just adjusting that silver cap with the lightning strike right down the middle of it. And Tane Bruce of Edinburgh University, back to the camera, focused, ready, just wants to get onto the blocks and get on with it. The British record, by the way, is 25.20. If that goes, I think me and Kerry Ann will fall off our chair. However, one of the things we've been getting used to with young British swimmers in the last couple of years is just to expect the unexpected. Swimming is not one on paper. You get in, and any bad stroke, any bad start, any bad touch, and you're in trouble.
Yeah. Another youngster to look out for in here is Freya Anderson. She's also only 16 years old.
Yeah, also swam at 27.12, which was an age record in the 16-year category. Yendel's time was, of course, an age record in the 15 years category. It was absolutely electric. 26.99. That's what we'll keep an eye out for her. But a win here at 15 would be amazing, but I'm sure the rest of these ladies are going to battle away with her. And as they come up towards the 10 metres, Yendel is there or thereabouts again, you know. Atkinson on her shoulder, but the 15-year-old desperate to take gold at the British Champs. Oh, Atkinson just getting in there, and Yendel went for the extra stroke, you know. I'll get Kerry Ann to look back on the replay. We can have that in a moment. Atkinson looks like she's took it in 26.81. Yendel from Derby, 26.90. But I tell you what, young lady, hold your head up high. Another 9/10 of a second taken away from the age record for the 15-year-olds. Freya Anderson coming in 27.02. That's also an age record for her as well. What a swim as we have the results on the board.
So we have Charlotte Atkinson in first from Loughborough Uni, Sophie Yendel, 26.90, Elise Thomas, we have Laura Stevens, Freya Anderson, Raquel, Lauren, and Tane Bruce then. Great result.
So that's the start of the race. It did look like Yendel didn't quite get off to the best of the starts, but she soon caught up with the rest. And it looked like she had a fractional lead as they came past the 10-metre mark. Here you see them at the 25, and they just keep on going. And I thought it was real tight. And actually, right at the very end here, Kerry, talk us through it.
So it looks here like Sophie was putting her head down a little too much. She didn't look up, I don't think, early enough to spot the wall, and she had to do kind of half an extra stroke where maybe she probably should have just done a fly kick. But this is all the stuff that you learn. You have to learn this kind of stuff.
It is that learning curve, and I'm sure we'll hear from Sophie Yendel one day, but actually what's going to happen in a few moments, hopefully we'll get a chance to have a chat with Charlotte Atkinson, just trying to grab her out of the water a couple of moments ago, so hopefully John Mason has got it. He has, so we'll go down to John Mason, who's going to chat with our new women's 50-metre butterfly champion.
When I'm here with the first British champion of the night, Charlotte Atkinson. Congratulations, how you feeling?
Thank you, yeah, I'm so happy. I wasn't expecting that, so yeah, I'm buzzing.
It's fantastic. I mean, you were a bronze medal 2 years ago, fourth last year in the Summer Championships. How does it feel to finally be the British champion in this event?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy. I mean, I've always made the finals, but never made the medals, so to go in there with the gold, yeah, it's amazing.
Congratulations. Now you're at Loughborough. Are you enjoying the programme? You're coming into a new season. Are you happy where you are as you place coming into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a new coach, Andy Manley, and we work really well together, and I trust him, so it's obviously working well. So.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Atkinson. Back to you, Alan.
Buzzing was the word we got out of that.
I love that.
Absolutely
Buzzing.
buzzing.
Absolutely buzzing.
She's happy with her training regime. She's happy
Yeah.
with where she is. She's happy with her progress. And as she said, actually, I think everybody was kind of focusing on the youngster.
Yeah.
And Charlotte Atkinson has used that maybe and just very quietly gone, you know what? I know what I can do.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Well, she used her experience. You know, she knows that that finish is a key part of the race. You know, coming into that last bit, you have to spot that finish perfectly well. We saw that this morning in a couple of the breaststroke events as well, and the fly events. You know, someone taking an extra stroke underwater, above the water, all that kind of stuff makes such a big difference in these kinds of events. They're so short, they're so sharp, but you've got to make sure you're on it.
So 3 very quick fire butterfly events done and dusted. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us, hashtag BSC17. I'll have a look at those in just a moment's time. Gregory Butler of City of Derby. We've got Oliver Crosby of Stockport Metro. That's David Bloomfield on your screen now from Brompton. Oliver Tavernier of Mount Kelly. Oliver Tavernier, he goes in 4. Lewis Fraser from Swansea Aquatics is the young man just off the back of the boom at the moment. Getting changed. He's happy to stand at the back and wait for everybody else. At 6, Thomas Speed. What a great name for an athlete in any sprint discipline.
Especially 50.
He's from Barnsley. Cameron Manley of Beds from the green cap there of 7. He'll have to go someone right out there. Harry Devlin of York City, the final athlete. And these youngsters, their opportunity to swim in a final at the 2017 British Swimming Championships. How are the nerves at this age in this sort of environment? You remember?
They're a bit all over the place because you don't have the expectation. You're not really too sure what to expect. So I'm hoping a lot of them are just thinking, I've got nothing to lose. This is a great opportunity to do a 50 ahead of probably one of the best swimmers that we'll have in a long time, of Adam Peaty. The crowd are going to get all excited about that as well. And just such depth that we do have in the breaststroke field in this country. So great.
Here we go, yeah. As you say, it's not like they've not got somebody to look up to in this exact discipline or in this exact race, is it? Coming through towards 10 metres, and 3 of them are in a line here. 3, 5 and 6, but here comes 4. Taverner racing through, 29.08. He was just off at 10. And that just compounds the message that you just keep on going right to the wall. 29.08, Lewis Fraser, 29.15. And there they are up on the screen for you at home. Oliver Crosby, 29.17.
It's a little slower than they...
That is the final results of that one. So Mount Kelly, Swansea and Stockport taking that one. Keep those messages coming. Kathy Stanfield is enjoying the action from Nairobi. Yeah, that caught you out, didn't it?
Totally.
Kerry-Ann Page just raised her eyes. Went, Nairobi? That was the last place. You thought I was going to say Norwich. Nairobi is the place to watch the action. Thank you very much to all of you joining around the world. Don't forget, if you are watching on YouTube, do like and subscribe. You can get all the information you need from swimming.org. And hello and welcome to all of those of you watching on the BBC's Red Button. I've seen for the last few years people talking about, let's get swimming on the TV. It's here. Now, are you watching? Get tweeting in, hashtag BSC17. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and who you are cheering on tonight. In about 5 minutes, social media will go rather nuts when one Adam Peaty comes out in a moment. But here we go. Marcus Gardner, Plymouth Leander, James Lewis, City of Cardiff, Zach Aitison of Millfield, David Murphy, City of Oxford there, just removing the tracksuit bottoms at the back. Placing everything neatly into the box. The box carriers will be along in a minute. Thank you to all of our volunteers, those wonderful box carriers. 5 is Dominic Polling of Brighton. Loughborough have Edward Baxter. He climbs on, and they're a pair of tier jammers. Here's Luke Davies, Bath University. You'll notice tier, the new sponsor, all around the building. here at these British Swimming Championships of 2017. Lots of new things happening in the world of swimming, and one of the things that Bill Furness, the head of it all, I suppose, was trying to get across was that we start again. You know, we're not going to dwell on Rio, we're not going to forget it, you know, because those medals were earned. They were sweated for and grimaced at, but they were earned. We've got them. Let's start again. We go again, 4-year cycle, and that is now.
Absolutely. It's quite a lot of emphasis been put on the juniors at this meet. First year after the Olympics, looking to really make, taking the steps forwards and really starting to, show what they can do. It's really good to see.
Some of the kit carriers tonight are from Harrogate District Swimming Club, so big thank you to all of our volunteers, not just the kit carriers, but there you are, that's some of the people doing the job. Now the 3, 4 and 5 have got to watch out on the far side, because Davies might just sneak in. He gets third, but it's Zach Aitchison, brother of Beth, and silver, David Murphy, if it was a medal event. Second is how I meant to say that. 28.64, 1/100th of a second.
That's still a win, 1/100th of a second. You've got to, learn how to do these things. We've got Zach Aitchison there. We've got David Murphy, he's second, and we've got Luke Davies there, third place in a 28.78. So 1/100th of a second, so tight, but still a win.
So that's 2 of our junior and target Tokyo finals done and dusted. John Mason.
Yes, thanks very much, Alan. Now, for those who missed it this morning, Adam Peaty had an incredible race. He's up next. Lots of people here and at home waiting for this one. So we've got a highlights reel for you. Let's check it out.
So take a look at Adam Peaty in his 50 metres this morning. And this is where he's come just 0.2 of a second outside of his own world record, a 26.62 this morning. Sim racing down, and the levels of music inside the building are pumping up, the atmosphere is pumping up, and the expectation comes again. I had a wonderful opportunity to stand and chat with Adam outside the building last night. He was making his way out, I was making my way out, and we were just having a bit of a chat. And he just wants to stand and talk to you. He wants to tell you what he's doing, but he makes no bones about the fact that actually I just get in and I go. And that was his sentence. I get in and I go and I see what happens. And respect to the guy. Change of clubs, we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but it's obviously doing him good already. James Wilby, Loughborough University, he's now got a decent training partner, hasn't he? Lawrence Palmer of Putteridge there in 2. That's a rather bright t-shirt for this time of day. Lane 3 coming up then is Ewan Inglis, Edinburgh University. Got a bronze medal at the Summer Champs last year, not at the British Champs, and there is the man, and there was a big cheer for Adam Peaty, Loughborough University. Just having his name read out here. Yeah, in this place, it's like a rock star's coming. 5 is Mark Campbell. 6 then, Charlie Atwood. A PB of 28 seconds dead is Charlie Atwood. Chris Steeples in the mix, representing Davencio. And Chelsea Westminster is Lewis Clifford Stevenson. So, gold medal winner Atwood at the British Summer Champs last year. He won the 17-18 years British Summer Champs category as well. And Atwood has been picking up junior medals going through. He went out to the European Games and got a bronze in the 100 metres back in Baku in 2015. And the world waits. Qualifying time last night in the 100. You can hear a pin drop, by the way, in here. Talk about respect.
I feel like we need to whisper.
I'm struggling to shuffle my papers, just in case. And it's a clean start. That's the first hurdle dealt with. Qualifying time last night, done, Kerry-Ann. This now is all about pleasure.
Yeah, he's just here to do what he absolutely loves doing, which is getting in this water, racing and swimming as fast as he can. He's working on so many new things at the moment, new starts, new turns, and this is a great opportunity for him to see what he can do at this time of the season.
5 metres to go. It's Petey against the clock. 26:48. Oh, just outside his 26:42, but 26:48 is utterly phenomenal.
Amazing. He just had a nice shake of the head there. He's happy with that time, which is good. And I know that he wants to race fast at the World Championships. So this is, for him, this is just about ticking boxes. It's about doing a really good, process goals, like you said, doing good starts, good finishes as well.
So we've got to hang fire on the results, but this man here climbing out is getting applause from all corners of Ponsford International Sports Centre. And you know that knowing Adam Petey and knowing Mel Marshall, his coach as well, they'll try and examine where those 0.6 of a second were hidden. You know, where can we get those from? Where can we get 10? Where can we get 10 of them?
Well, he's just taken some time off after the Olympics. You know, he's really taken time. You can see that huge tattoo that's on his shoulder. He needed to take a lot of time out to have that happen. And that's, for him, it's going to be about getting back in and training.
So let's go and hear from him.
Here I am with the legend that is Adam Petey, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, British champion, 100 metres last night, 50 metres tonight. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. I mean, I came in today, didn't expect to go that fast, but that's a great time for me early in season, and hopefully we can lower it in
a few weeks, exactly, mate. I mean, it's your own world record. You're just a few hundredths of a second off. Hopefully, we'll be seeing that change throughout the season. Now, you've got a new program with Mel at Loughborough. How is that panning out for you?
Yeah, great. I mean, it's a great move. Getting a lot more time to train instead of travel now. So, and, it's a professional environment where we're as a group we're striving for better things now, and hopefully in the next few years or months we can can see those results.
Well, fingers crossed. I'm sure we will. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Petey, back to you.
Carrie Ann, you were just looking at Chris Steeples. Sorry, Ewan Inglis.
Ewan Inglis,
Chris
yeah.
Steeples was disqualified, by the way, so you've seen that now on your screens at home. Give us the update on Ewan Inglis there.
Ingles.
I apologise.
Sorry, yeah, so basically this is also the first part of the Scottish Commonwealth Games team's qualification, and he did that consideration time. So great to see him doing that. So fingers crossed he'll be picked for that team going out to...
Up for the rest of the year then?
Not quite, doesn't quite work that way. I'm sure he'll want to get as far under that consideration time as he can, which was a 27.74, and he just did a 27.
Absolutely, as well as qualifying times that people are vying for medals. He just saw one of those medals, and on reflection, it's time to go to our medal ceremonies. Michelle Matthews says Lucy supporting Lawrence Palmer from home. Thank you very much for your tweets as well. So keep those tweets coming into us. Well, it's Elise Thomas will be presented with a bronze medal in a moment. Slight pause there.
This is always one of the best bits, when you get to stand up there and you get to get the medal. You're standing up there, in front of the British swimming banner, and you're wearing your club colours, your club tracksuits. It's always a really nice feeling to be up there. Sophie Endel looking very happy being up there. Receiving that medal.
Any of those positions before today, if you offered it to her, snapped your arm.
She would have run away with it.
Oh.
I think she was probably hoping to win the junior final, never mind come away and be second in the senior final on this event.
She's 15.
Yep.
When you're 15, all you want to do is go home and eat your Easter eggs that you've still got left. Charlotte Atkinson.
Doesn't look like she's eaten any Easter eggs.
Not in the slightest. I've got them all. Charlotte Atkinson picking up that gold, and well deserved. As she said, she was absolutely buzzing on the back end of that, so well done to her. We're going to, in a little while, we're going to play a little video that you've made for us, Karen. We're going to discuss the elements of the 800 metres, but that's in a little while. We've got the medal ceremony for the men's event we've just seen with Adam Petey in there picking up another gold. If you didn't see the action last night, Adam Petey's 100-metre victory, he gave his medal away. He gave it to a young fan in the crowd. I'm pretty sure he'll do the same exactly tonight. He gets to go over to the press area, which is on the far side, just to the right-hand side as you're looking at the screen now, on the top right-hand right-hand corner. They all get interviewed afterwards, and we'll see that happening again a little bit later on. All those interviews, by the way, if you go onto the British Swimming website, you can see them on their YouTube page as well. So if you want to hear what the swimmers have to say after the event, so not just with John Mason during the event, but afterwards as well, when they perhaps have another extra half a minute or so to calm down, you'll see those interviews on the website as well. Brian Sweeney watching from Ireland, so thank you very much to him. He's tweeting into his hashtag BSC17, and keep the tweets coming in. We'll try and read out what we can for you. Let us know who you're watching, where you're watching from. Here, we were all watching Adam Peaty come so close to getting somewhere near his own medal in the... well,
bit of a switcheroo over there.
The only one who knew exactly where it would be was Adam Peaty, but the old switcheroo, as you say, happening between...
You can just see every single one of them is still breathing really hard. So this is really not that long ago that they've, they've finished their races and they're straight up there. Great to see Ewan up there. You know, he's decided to go full kit. He's going full Edinburgh Uni outfit there, which is really nice to see.
Well, you've perfected saying his surname, so I'm going to let you do it. The winner of the silver medal is...
Ewan Ingalls.
Oh, nice.
A little fact that we had this morning, in case you missed it, I'm technically related to Ewan.
Yeah.
I will leave this with you. His brother is my sister-in-law. There you go.
I still haven't figured it out.
I'll let you figure it out.
But you've lost me. So Ewan Ingalls picks up the silver medal here on day number 2. And that man there in the middle of your shot did this afternoon exactly what he did in the very last race of day number 1, and that is winning gold in a British Swimming Championships. And well, he got the time that he needed last night. He's just got another medal tonight, and he just looks relaxed. He just looks cool. So that was 50-metre action. As I said, we're going to get some 800-metre action coming up in just a moment, but we could do with an explanation or two about how to manage an 800-metre race. So we're going to throw to Kerry-Ann, who taught us all about it a little bit earlier.
This is it. I've done all my warm-up, all my preparation, walking out into the curtain to start my 800 freestyle. This is probably the most nerve-wracking part of the swim, the start of those 16 lengths up and down this 50-metre swimming pool. I always break up my 800s into 4 200s. The first 200 is about getting into a nice rhythm, and the second 200 is about maintaining that rhythm as much as I can. So we've reached the halfway stage of the race. We're now into that third 200, which for me was always a key part of the race. I won races and lost races when I didn't put as much effort, or I put too much effort into this part of the race. You're starting to fatigue, you're starting to get tired. We're coming into the last 100 meters of the swim. Everything starts to hurt, and all you're waiting to hear is the elusive bell. 100 meters to go. This is it. We're at the last 50. We've come up to the last turn. And now is the only opportunity you give yourself to look at where everybody else is. You want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position to come down that last 50 and touch that board first. So that's it. You've done your 800-meter race. And if everything has gone to perfection, you too will be standing where I am now. I'm Kerry-Ann Payne, and that was my guide to the perfect 800 freestyle. But now that I'm retired, I'm very much looking forward to watching it with you from over there.
Well, you might have thought, Kerry-Ann Payne, you were going to watch it from over there in the spectator area, but I soon sorted that out. You're not having a session off.
I'm up here, definitely not.
You've only just got here.
Well, I get a little bit kind of emotional and get in a bit kind of about these kinds of things. Because I know these girls, I know Jazz, I know Camilla, I know Danielle. And I just, just really excited about it. So if I start jumping up, you'll just have to turn my mic off, okay?
Hopefully you youngsters out there have learnt a few things from what Kerry-Ann's had to say outside of the commentary. Maybe you'll learn something by watching the actual action here. That was Jazz Carlin coming out. Easily the lady to beat in this one. We're not going to beat about the bush. As much as Adam Peaty in the breaststroke is the man to beat, this lady is the lady to beat. And Holly Hibbett comes out after Camilla Hattersley. Another youngster starting to come through. Born in '99 is Holly Hibbett.
Yeah, she had a good 200 yesterday as well. There was Danielle Huskisson, and here's Alice as well. Both those two girls you just saw there are on the open water team as well, so it's good to see them in the pool racing, working on those kind of sprint races, which I can't believe you can call an 800 metres a sprint, but I can.
So, Isabel Griffiths, City of Birmingham, just a quick last moment swig of water. Good to get one of those in. You won't see another one for about 8.5 minutes. So, well, should have been Amy Wilmot in lane 1, but we've no lane 1. We have got a lane 8, Amber Keegan, City of Sheffield, making her way out. Another of the hometown swimmers here at Ponds Forge. So the finalists making their way out, getting themselves ready. And you talked about this being the most nervy part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a weird feeling. You get so well, I always used to get so nervous coming into races, but I knew that nerves were actually a really good thing. They were part of my preparation. It's my body getting used to it, getting ready. And then this is probably the moment where you don't actually think about anything other than, right, take a deep breath, just saw Jazz do then, and then it's about getting in and swimming.
So there you go. No Amy Wilmot in 1. Alice Deering, Holly Hibbert, Jazz Carling, Camilla Hattersley, Danielle Huskisson. I had some troubles with that this morning for no apparent reason. Isabel Griffiths and Amber Keegan. Keep those tweets coming in. Kerry Goff is Mum and Freya frantically trying to charge their iPad, trying to watch from the kitchen in my hometown in Nottingham. So enjoy the coverage on your device. Steve Clark says great swimming tonight at these championships. Some great times. Really enjoyed watching Sophie Yendel. So thank you very much to Steve Clark. Tracy Dunkley says, Adam Peaty, what an inspiration to all younger breaststroke swimmers. I don't think just breaststroke swimmers, just swimmers in general.
Yeah, it's really interesting coming in. I'm just trying not to get too kind of wound up by this. It's been such a while since I've done an 800, and to watch these girls, and you know, Camilla and Jazz both swam in the 200 yesterday, as did Holly Hibbert. And Holly actually had, if you look at it, the better swim. She had a good time, whereas Jazz and Camilla didn't quite have as good a time. So that could mean that, you know, it was first race jitters, just getting things out of the way, or it could mean that they've not been focusing on that 200, and this is the event that they've really been working on. Jazz has a really good, strong back end to the swim. So if you are wanting to try and beat her, I would suggest you need to kind of be in front of her around about this point. But you know, she's almost, well, she's a big PB. You know, for Camilla is 8:30, whereas Jazz's PB really is an 8:15. You know, there's quite a big 15 seconds difference. So you'd want to be pushing her from the very start if you can.
We talked about this a little bit this morning, and for those guys joining us tonight on the BBC or on YouTube or on indeed the British Swimming website itself, but we mentioned Katie Ledecky, and it's a little bit like Adam Peaty in the breaststroke industry. Katie Ledecky, the world record for you that perhaps didn't, and I don't know why, but didn't watch the Rio Olympic Games in the summer last year, 8:04. 79. Let's have a quick look at the times here. We'll go back to her. Carling 2:04.08 in first. Hibbert, Stockport Metro, the youngster, going for it in second at the moment in 2:04.62, and Hattersley there at 2:05.10. Ledecky's something else.
She really is. She's just a spectacular athlete. I mean, she swims a bit like a boy, the way that she does things. You know, she's got a really dominant kick, which she can use or she can't use. You know, she doesn't want to use. So she's just got this ability to get in and just swim like no one's ever seen anybody swim before. Well, any females that anybody's seen before.
I often hear swimmers in the longer distance events refer to, you know, not kicking or limiting their kicking. Talk to me about the energy-saving methods that you would use.
Well, the long distance events tend not to have very big kickers. So if you look across the pool now, they are kicking, but not like you would see someone, say, like James Guy do down the last sort of, even the last 100, 200 metres of his 400. They are kicking because they get a lot of their propulsion from the kick. You know, historically, distance swimmers tend not to use their legs as much because it's either a longer event, your stroke rate isn't quite as high, so you're trying to conserve as much energy as you can. I never had a very strong kick at all, so for me they were just balanced behind me, and you can see that here. Jazz, you know, she's just got a 2-beat kick there. She gets a lot of her power from her arms. Holly, on the other hand, she definitely has a bit more of a kick, maybe only a 4-beat kick, albeit. But Holly's doing a really good swim here. I'll be really interested to see how she gets on at the 400 meters mark, because she's gone out with Jazz. She's decided, you know what, I've got nothing to lose here. I am just going to go for this and see what I can do.
So interesting. I know you talked about in your video the tactics that come in to this discipline. You know, maybe in the shorter distance it's kind of just go, get in, go. Here, much different, isn't it? You talked about how you've made mistakes sometimes at certain areas of the race. It is key to stick with what you've gone through with your coach, what you've gone through in your own head, I suppose, before you even get in the water. Let's talk about the coaches. We'll just turn here at 4:13.25. Just 9 100ths in this. Holly Hibbert has clearly decided she just wants to go with Jazz and see what happens, and that will be interesting too, indeed, see what happens. Talk to me about the coach's role at the side. A lot of people often say to us they can see a coach waving their arm or shouting towards the pool. What are you hearing? What are you seeing?
Yeah, as a distance swimmer like this, you're swimming up and down for a lot longer, and you can see the side of the pool. The water goes over the edge. There's no big edges that you can't see. So a lot of the coaches will walk along up and down the side, and a lot of athletes have, you know, certain little things that they do with their coach. If things are going well, you know, it's maybe like a nice wave. You can see there, Stockport Metro, all those guys. If it's going well, it's just, you know, like a quick nod, or it's an arm up. But if you're a bit off pace, then it's a bit more frantic. And it, you know, it's hard. It's like when people shout, when people cheer for people while they're swimming, you can see it there again. You know, it makes you feel better as the spectator to be doing something, to feel like you're taking part in it.
You often notice in the long distance races, the teammates start turning up with the coach as well. They're off trying to get your attention and waving away. You know.
Yeah, and it's the freestyle events. You tend to, in these events, you're not quite swimming as fast for most of it, so you've got a bit more chance to look and to see where the coaches are, and you know some of the coaches have specific noises, so you can hear a little bit whether it's a specific noise, and you know Holly will know that just to sort of her left there, that's where the Stockport coaches are, so when she looks over that way, you know she'll see Sean, and she'll be basically, you know, judging on what he's doing.
So just to clarify, this is not a final per se. Everybody enters the longer distance races. We swim a lot of the heats in the morning, and then the fastest heat goes in the evening session. It's always been done like that. So then everybody is ranked afterwards, and all of the selectors will see the times as it goes down, and they're again being waved on, or they're trying to wave at me. No,
feels like it, doesn't it?
It does feel like it. Hello. Down they come, and this is bold. Yes. From Holly Hibbert, or is it slower from Jazz Carling? There you go, that's an interesting one.
It is an interesting one, you know, 6:24 there. Jazz's best is 6:15, so if she was going to go anywhere near that, we would hope to have seen her at around about the 6:12 mark. So Jazz is a little bit off, but this is great for Holly, you know, to really stick with her. It's always hard in these situations because Holly's thinking, I'm with Jazz, I am seeing how I'm going to do on this. And if she touches thinking Jazz's best is an 8:15, if we touch, maybe we've done an 8:20, and they do maybe an 8:30, which is what my prediction would be, you know, off that kind of the time that they just did before. But, you know, Holly looks good. Jazz, like I said yesterday, she didn't have the best 200. She's not particularly as fast as we've seen her in the past, but this is year one of another 4-year cycle. Jazz is an amazing athlete. She's taken time out of the water. She needed that time away. She's probably had tons of sponsorship things that she's had to do, tons of media things that she's had to do. It takes its toll on you when you're meant to be having a break and you don't get that.
Here comes the lovely sound of the bell that you were talking about. It is important to probably educate the younger viewers, I suppose. It's not necessarily that you are swimming your fastest in 2017 right here at the British Championships. As much as that is a grand event and want to win a title, actually what we want you to do is be swimming a qualifying time so that you're at your best for the World Championships in Budapest. And I think people misunderstand that about the sport of swimming. They believe that you should be swimming exactly the same time after time after time. It just doesn't work like that. There's far too many mechanics behind it. 8 minutes, 0.41 for Jazz Carling as she turns, and Holly Hibbert has got an opportunity here to try and challenge her. And look at these ladies down on the side, holding their face, holding their hands, just trying to cheer on here. So it's Carlin and Hibbert, and just in behind them is Hatters. Let's say just in behind, no 4 seconds, but it's Carlin versus Hibbert. Carlin will take the British title here, but I tell you what, stand up and applaud the young lady Holly Hibbert here in lane 3. Carlin is our British champion, 8:30.56. Holly Hibbert, 8:31.78.
That's a good time for this. I think both girls might look up and look at the time and maybe not be as happy as they were hoping. Holly might have hoped that Jazz would have, almost dragged her through to a much faster time. 8:30 for Jazz isn't one of her best times, but she still proves time and time again that she's one of the best British athletes that we have at the moment. Like I said, she probably took a big chunk of time out of the water, and this is her getting back into the season, back into the swing of things. So I wouldn't be upset, and I wouldn't for 1 second be thinking, oh, Jazz has lost it. It doesn't work that way. She is double Olympic silver medalist.
She's got her own face on her own cap as Jazz Carlin,
Yeah.
part of the breed of caps that came out last year. Jazz Carlin, Holly Hibbert, Camilla Hattersley will be the fastest 3 from this final heat of the 800 freestyles. We'll see the medal ceremony a little bit later on as well. Thank you very much to Peter Hill, enjoying the streaming from Larne Swim Club. Thank you very much to Peter Hill. Keep your tweets coming in. Lorraine says, I've just watched Adam Peaty power home to take his second British title. We did. Otti is chilling with the vino, cheering on the very own Team Steel finalist who are smashing it up in the pool. Small laptop there. That's got to be the smallest screen we've seen of the day, Otti, so you're going to have to work on that one. Keep your tweets coming into us. And Kate Thurlow says, great to see the swimming on the BBC. We're there, we're here. I believe we're on tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday as well. So it's good to be with you on the red button. And Jazz Carlin is just catching her breath. Understandable. Down on poolside. She'll be chatting with John Mason in just a couple of moments. Still plenty of action to come, by the way. We've got the 200-foot butterfly coming up next for the guys. Women's 100 backstroke after that. Men's 100 backstroke coming later as well. Here's John Mason.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, she's done it again. Congratulations, Jazz. How do you feel? British champion once again.
Yeah, it's actually my first 800 race since Rio, so it's always a bit rusty when you get back into it, but obviously it's great to be pushed along by Holly because she's one of the ones for the future to watch. So it's always great to come away with the gold at the British Champs, but obviously, yeah, it's just been quite a tough race.
It was, I know, you catch your breath now, but I know you mentioned last year was Rio, obviously a very big year for you. Coming into this season, has there been any major changes you've made in your program for this season?
Yeah, well, I had a really long break after Rio. I had a couple of months out of the pool completely, so it was a bit of a shock getting back into the swing of things, but it's nice to be back racing and obviously just enjoying the crowd here and racing the best in Britain.
Well, you certainly did very well. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Jazz Carlin. Well done, darling. Back to you, Alan.
Thank you very much, John Mason. Great to see there, and we saw it yesterday with Hannah Miley. Straight out of the pool, you've won your medal. A lot of our senior swimmers are already talking about, and this is what I was saying about the team ethos that seems to be growing and growing and growing, already mentioning the future. She's talking about Holly Hibbert, knowing that that's the lady that one day potentially will replace her or somebody else. Interesting to see that we're actually encouraging those youngsters to come through.
Yeah, and Jazz was that to Rebecca Adlington. She was the one that came in as the youngster, kind of pushing in, seeing how she did. And then, we had that big void of when Rebecca left, and Jazz was like, you know what, I'm taking that void, and that's exactly what she did.
This is the men's junior 200-metre butterfly action. Alan March and Kerry-Ann Payne in commentary. Hopefully you're enjoying it on YouTube, on the British Swimming website, or of course on the BBC's red button. Get yourself with your feet up, chill out. Jane Hood finally watching swimming on the BBC. Good luck to Lauren Cox, she says, for Sydney Coventry in her backstroke final. Keep those tweets coming into us. We're absolutely loving seeing them. Let's go through the lanes here. Joshua Reisbeck of Doncaster Darts goes in lane number 1. James Wilson led ahead in 2. Archie Goodburn, Warren de Barclub goes in 3. Mason Wilby is in 4 for Loughborough University. That there in 5 is Jacob Peters of Poole, a very apt name, of course. Thomas Bealey of Aberdeen will go. He's just sat concentrating, Thomas Bealey, unless he's completely forgotten he's meant to be swimming. Max Jameson of Thanet Swim goes in 7. And on the far side, Matthew George in the yellow cap, City of Salford. He is the final swimmer in this lineup. So Reisbeck, Wilkes, Goodburn, Wilby, Peters, Bealey, Jameson and George. I'm learning Bulgarian, by the way. You have to roll your R's very, very hard. Here we go then. We've had 50-metre action. We've had 800-metre action. Plump for something just about in the middle. A few flash from cameras just going off, which is a no-no. You at home can, obviously. Doesn't affect anything. Why are you taking pictures of yourself with a flash on at home? I'm not quite sure. But away we go then. 200-metre butterfly action. And, got a couple of 15-year-olds in Archie Goodburn in lane 3. We'll keep an eye on the 15-year age record for a British swimmer. It's 2:01.12. In theory, some 2:02.75 earlier, which was his personal best, we believe. So maybe Archie Goodburn can get somewhere near that. A couple of 16-year-olds, Matthew George, Max Jameson, Jacob Peters. They're all just at 16. 17 are Thomas Bealey, Mason Wilby, and James Wilkes, 17, and Joshua Reisbeck is 18. Oh, to be 17 or 18 again.
Yeah. Well, this is a good start to a race from lane 4 there, from Mason. He's decided to take it out. That first turn there is a 56.61. So he's decided he's taken this on. I know we mentioned Archie Goodburn this morning from Warren Baths. He's not had the best start, but 200 butterfly is a different event. There is no right or wrong way to do this other than you know if you've done it wrong down that last 50.
Well, the man that knows how to do this was Michael Phelps, 1:51.51. Laszlo Shea at 1:52.70. One of those goes back to 2009 for Phelps. Beijing 08 for the European record. And 2009 again won Michael Rock for the British record, 1:54.58. Interesting, can we start that climb back up to these times? It feels like we're kind of right at the bottom still, though. We're trying to get anywhere near those times, and not just us here in Britain, it's the rest of the world.
Absolutely, yeah, worldwide, totally. Michael Rock was a phenomenal British swimmer, and I think that when he retired, there's this real void of him, you know, but now we've got the likes of James Guy taking up a bit of the space there, and a couple of the other Scottish guys, but coming into this last stroke, lane 5 there from Jacob Peters from Poole, and 2:65.
So a victory for Peters from Mason Wilby, and he made it look quite comfortable. A little nod and a wry smile from Jacob Peters, an embrace with Mason Wilby.
That's a big PB there from Jacob Peters, and a 2:65. Second, Mason Wilby. Third, Thomas Bealey from Aberdeen, 2:02.47.
The regional gold medal winner over 100 metres, Jacob Peters. And we believe that is a big personal best for him. So he's 16. And you know, sometimes you're having a wander around poolside, and it's just modern society, but you're having a wander around poolside. Some of these guys are massive. And then they go, oh yeah, I'm 16. You know, what? What?
Beard's bigger than yours.
I'm not sure about that. Climbing out is our winner. It's always a sort of ginger walk away from the pool, isn't it? There's the exhaustion immediately. I suppose the excitement to get in, then all of a sudden you feel that drained body, don't you? The moment you climb out, you've done what you came here to do, and out you get and wander off. So
it's just the hope that the legs work. It's like, please work, please work, please work. Okay, I'm fine.
Last year, James Guy, swimming in one of his events, admitted to an interview that he'd been a little bit ill after he climbed out. This year, a lady down by on poolside remembered that, and when he finished his 400 metres the other night, she already had said bucket ready, and everybody said to James, what do you need? And he went, I need a bucket. And she went, oh, look, there you go. So called being prepared. That's a mum for you, isn't it? So James was very much looked after. If anybody in the Guy family wants to wonder whether we're looking after James Guy, we certainly are. Next up, Target Tokyo once again. The breed of youngsters, male and female, that we think might just be going to Japan in a few years' time. Carl Chisholm of Borough of Kirklees in 1, Jacob Jackson of Ellesmere College Titans in 2. 3 here is Josie Porter, Loughborough University. Listen to a bit of ABBA, that's nice. James Baxter, I'm sure it's probably not. Wickham District's James Baxter goes in 4. 5, that's Kevin Walbank. Staring down the pool, ready to go. From last moment, limbering from Ryan Brown of City of Glasgow, the the big G on the side of the blue cap, and the big PL on the side of Freddie Clampett's Plymouth Leander silver cap. No lane 8 in this final. Again, a mix of ages that our selectors are looking for, 18, 19 and 20. Kevin Warbank, by my maths, just turned 21 not long back as well. Again, the respectful swimming audiences know that the moment the official wants the attention of the swimmers, you've got to be quiet and give them the very best opportunity to hear that buzzer and get away cleanly.
Yeah, you don't want to. We only get a one-start rule now. It changed. I can't remember the exact time it changed, but it was a little while ago that it changed from a false start. And what was happening, the reason they decided to make that change was because a lot of athletes were doing it just to get wet, just to kind of get the nerves out of the way, and really start kind of this, you know, it was just taking much longer. Events were taking much longer because everyone had to get back out, and if they didn't catch them at the start, then they'd have to put down the 15-meter false start ropes, and it was just getting a little bit too tricky. So they decided just to have that one-start rule. So the spectators are being really good with keeping quiet for that, so everyone can hear it.
Burkett Swimming Club says great coverage and young talent watching this live stream, looking forward to coming down on Saturday. Come down, come say hello. And so keep yourselves tweeting, hashtag BSC17. Karen Bailey's watching on her phone, great swimming. She's in Southend in Exeter, that's in Essex of course. And Jamie McHale says great streaming from the team. He's mentioned me and you. I think he just means you, to be fair. I've met Jamie before. So keep those tweets coming, hashtag BSC17.
So a good first 100 there from Kevin Warbank. He turned first in 56.89. It's quite a good lead on the rest of the field, just over a body length. Let's see if he's paced this race to perfection with his last 50 now.
The regional silver in the 200 fly back end of last year. Got a bronze in the 100 as well in one of those regional events, but it's Kevin Warbank trying to demonstrate to the GB selectors that he wants to be on a plane to somewhere. Have a look at the actual distance between him and the rest.
Yeah,
I think he's already been on a plane.
I think he might have done, yeah. Well, he has paced this to perfection. He's decided he had to go out hard. He did a 2:03 this morning. That is going to be 2:01.4. So looks like he did that PB this morning, and that's another PB again there. So waiting for the results to be confirmed, but a 2:01.43.
Listen to that applause. That is an audience watching a young man swim a very good race, and I think they just wanted to let him know that they all saw that, and they all thought, wow, well done, young man.
That's good, yeah.
So Warbank 2:01.43.
He had a nice little nod there as well at the end, going, yep.
James Baxter will nab second in 2:04.10 as Kyle Chisholm 2:04.23. There you go, that's the top three. Joseph Porter, Freddie Clampett, Ryan Brown and Jacob Jackson. And we're just going to take a look at the last 10 metres here, Kerry-Ann. He goes through 10 metres. He could have put his towel on about 7 different chairs before anybody else got to poolside.
In that moment, he will just have been thinking about the time. How close can he get to that 2-minute barrier? And, you know, he was 2:01, so he's still got a bit to drop to try and get to that 2 minutes. But I think that was a really good swim that he just decided he was going to go for from the start.
Yeah, I like a challenge.
Yeah.
1:54.14. That's a challenge.
That is a challenge.
That is a challenge, and that is exactly what you're going to need in a race for the qualification time. 1:54.14. Men's 200-meter butterfly final coming up in a couple of minutes. James Guy has made his way out. The cap's on. The headphones are on. I saw James with his dad outside in the cafe area, nice and relaxed, nice and chilled, as he always is.
Yeah.
He's happy. He's ready. He's got his phone in his hand. He's maybe texting. I have no idea. Joe Litchfield, City of Sheffield, another exciting youngster, just 18 years of age, a 200-meter individual medley gold medal winner of the European Juniors last year. We've got Matthew Donville in 3. Duncan Scott, University of Stirling, goes in lane number 6. That's Luke Howell, City of Sheffield. Michael Gunning, London Aquatics, coming out in lane 1. Cameron Brodie is already out in lane 2. And last but by no means least, Thomas Payne, City of Manchester Aquatics. The big M on the side of the cap.
No relation. Spelt slightly differently. But he's doing 200 fly, so he's clearly Payne by name, Payne by nature.
I was going to say, I didn't want to go there, but you've done it, haven't you?
Well, I can do it. It's fine if I do it.
Michael Gunning, Cameron Brodie, Matthew Donville, James Guy, Joe Litchfield, Duncan Scott, Luke Haldell, Thomas Payne. Quite surprised no Jay Lelliott in this, but it's not quite at the races just yet. He's part of the season, so well, James Guy has an opportunity. Didn't quite get inside the qualification time in his 400. He's a British champion 1 from 1. He'll want a British champion medal this time around from this event, and well, he hasn't done this since 2012, but he's clearly trying to go for it. He's got a new personal best done in Indianapolis, and here we go then. In he gets.
What I know about James Guy is that he loves to race, absolutely loves it. And what he loves more about racing is doing this event. There's no pressure on him. This isn't his main event. This isn't what he qualified in for the Olympic Games. This isn't what he won any medals in. But he just absolutely loves doing this event. I was speaking to Joel Fink, his coach, earlier. They've moved to Bath now, so they've got, you know, a pretty good program set up there. You know, everything's a bit more professional. He did have a great program with Millfield, but everything now is a bit more senior, it's a bit more professional. There's no school really attached to it, and they're all about the performance. A few new people in the group, new faces, new routines, and new regimes as well. And James seems to have done a great start to the season with his event last night, coming into this first 100 here, and that's actually in first was Cameron Brodie down in lane 2 from the University of Stirling in a 55.26, and then James Guy 55.38 there, turning in second.
So it's Brodie, the University of Stirling, so 156.59 as a personal best for him.
This is where you know, James really starts to pull in on his own, and he's really starting to now think about winning this race. Coming into this last 50, he's going to turn. I bet that he has a little look underwater without anybody see where he's positioned. And he is now just going to try and do what absolutely he loves doing, which is racing, just fighting it down. He can hear, I can see that his hat is maybe a little bit high actually, and his ear looks like it's coming out of the well, but he can hear this crowd cheering, and he just wants to do as well as he possibly can.
Into the final 10 metres, and then James Guy flying through the water, 1:57.05 is the personal best. James Guy 1:55.91.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a good time. Really good time. 55.91. Nice little nod. British champion again. Yeah. On those, you know, the interviews I've seen him post he just said he wasn't enjoying it. He just didn't really enjoy his time. He doesn't know why, he just didn't really enjoy it. But there, absolutely, the biggest smile on his face, nodding.
Did it there, didn't he?
He's got his mojo back for sure.
So James Guy.
And he's doing what I would call an Arnie face. So it doesn't matter how tired you are. As you get out, you just put on this absolute face of steel going, yep, totally fine. So absolutely, nothing wrong with me. Could have gone again. Easy.
He's nodding in approval. He tried to shake everyone's hand last night as they climbed that. He's such a great guy.
He is.
So he's being ushered into position for an interview, as you can see down on Paul's side. So well, we've got plenty more action. I'm going to get rid of Kerry-Anne Payne in the nicest possible way. Kerry-Anne, I'm going to get rid of Kerry-Anne in a little while. She's sulking. I can't believe she's sulking. We're going to go down to John for now.
James Guy, ladies and gentlemen, gold last night, gold again in the butterfly right now. I know you absolutely love that. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's great. It's my my first 200 fly in 4 years tapered, so to go 155.9 is a great swim.
Yeah, absolutely great time, mate. And I know you mentioned last night you had a bit of a tough year last year. You're coming into this season, you've changed a few things. Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, I absolutely love it, man. It's been a great season so far. I've changed clubs, I'm in a different program now, and it just seems to be working for me. I'm so much happier in Bath, and I feel like I'm in the right headspace.
Well, mate, everyone's absolutely behind you. Congratulations, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, James Guy. Back to you, Alan.
Brilliant stuff. So that is the men's 200 metres butterfly. And from one retired, very much respected legend to another, I've got Mr. Liam Tancock joining me here in the commentary box. Been good so far tonight.
Yeah, no, it really has. I've enjoyed it as a spectator for the first time in God knows how long. So yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. And a lot more to come too.
Yep, we've got a junior final in something that Liam is able to talk about until, well, maybe the cows have returned back to home. It's the 100 metres backstroke event. Rachel Welling, City of Peterborough in 1. 2 is Amelia Sansom, Wickham District. 3, Eleanor Southwood of Ellesmere College Titans. And then we've got Cassie Wilde of Ellesmere College Titans as well. Lily Bosley, City of Sheffield, goes in 5. Athena Clayson, Mount Kelly Swimming Club, is in 6. Rotherham Metro have got themselves Debbie Cocking in 7. And then Lauren Cox, City of Coventry, will go in lane number 8. Keep those tweets coming. Spencer Neil George, who was one of the coaches for Long Eaton Swimming Club. He was here in the first couple of days. He sent me a wonderful picture of Brian Blessed. That's because Spencer looked absolutely like Brian Blessed. It was rather uncanny. He and I were comparing beards. You've got one on the go as well, Liam Tancock. Retirement giving you a beard back, is it?
Yeah, I've been a bit lazy, to be honest. It was worse the other week. So yeah, going home, I thought, coming over to trials, let's give it a trim.
Smarten myself up a little bit for the fan club. So right, up we come. Talk to me about a perfect 100 metre backstroke race.
I've swum many 100 backstroke race, and I'd never say I've done a perfect one. And probably anyone that says they have are lying. I think there's always ways to improve, and we're going to see lots of different tactics today. Some people swimming up from the 50 and some people swimming down from the 200, but should be some good racing.
Keep those tweets coming in to us. People like Lee Rowe watching from South Wales. Good luck to all the Wales swimming. Tracy's enjoying the commentary as well. Right now, by the way, is a good time. If you are a backstroke youth swimmer and you want to ask Liam Tancock a question, get it into us. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag stream. Great time to learn from somebody who pretty much knows what he's doing here, though. These are the young people coming through in our junior final, and I tell you what, this is a great performance from Cassie Wilde. Turned in first in 29.66, and she's going to take a touch here. Oh, just edged out 101.66 from Lily Bosley. We'll wait and see the official timings before we get that up on the board, but it's great to see these youngsters really pushing each other, really going for it, and realising there's an opportunity not just to win a race, but to impress selectors as well.
Yeah, and that's what you come to these trials, these championships to do. Wild was very, very smooth. I liked her performance there, very smooth on the back 15, which is difficult at the end of a race, but yeah, she did a great job.
So the ladies being asked to wait, and as I was alluding to, I thought Cassie Wilde by eyesight was going to win that race, and I'm being proved correct here. We've got the scores on the board in front of us, and there you go. Cassie Wilde indeed from lane 4, as I suspected, had the better of the times. 101.25, but she was being pushed by Bosley. Eleanor Southwood 102.44. That's a decent time for an age group swim.
Yeah, it was very good. As I said, the last 15 was very smooth. A bit of a soft touch on the wall, and that's what didn't pick up on the scoreboard there. But the backup timing came through, and see a good performance of gold. And as you say, improvement. Great job for the Ellesmere guys, and yeah, as you say, it's all about the selections for these meets, and the selectors out there watching, looking at these times and seeing what people are doing. And it's not just about what they're doing now, it's all about the future, the next races, but it's a good start.
Lily Bosley was just 6/100ths of a second outside of the British age group record there, so that's an impressive swim from her, and coming in second position. Right then, out they come. Trying to see the City of Derby tracksuit and cap. It belongs to that lady there on your screen. That's Eleanor Baldwin. City of Derby, she goes in lane 1, just 18. Harriet Cooper, Loughborough University, will go in 2. She's one of a few 19-year-olds in this race. Catherine Greenslade, Edinburgh University in 3. 4 is Charlotte Evans from Loughborough University. 5, also Loughborough University, Harriet West. Courtney Price of Nova Centurion, the Nottinghamshire-based swimming club, in lane 6. Molly Allen, City of Peterborough, goes in 7. And Anna Newlands goes in lane 8 for Edinburgh University. There she is, nose peg on. Nose peg, some do, some don't.
Yeah, I never did myself. I knew lots of people did across, you know, from age group swimming all the way into the Olympic final. So some people really like it. It's usually for the start and the turn. You know, you got up to 30 metres, 15 off the start and 15 off the turn, where you can work that. And lots of people don't like the water going up the nose. I've got a tactic where I push my top lip up to my nose and block it off. But some people like a nose peg.
Just try not to get caught by a cameraman at that point, aren't you?
I've seen worse pictures than that. I'm doing okay.
Fair enough. We'll have a chat with you in a moment about the advances in the backstroke, and I'm talking about the ledges that go in now that are dropped off the start blocks, and how has that improved or changed the backstroke starts?
Oh, it's massively improved. You know, not a lot of people know this, but you know, after the Beijing Olympics, when they put the wedges in, they changed the blocks completely. Backstrokers were a last fought, and a few of the world's best got together, speaking about, you know, Aaron Pearsall, Kirsty Coventry, and we spoke about, you know, how can we improve the backstroke, and I'll go into that in a minute. Yeah,
we'll come back to that, because the end of this Target Tokyo final is near. It's a tight one again, but going very well in 3 here. Catherine Greenslade is going to take this touching 1:01.35. That's inside the time that we've got written down as a personal best here for Greenslade. So the youngster from Edinburgh University, one of our 19-year-olds. Evans from Loughborough University, also 19, comes in 1:01.82. That looks like a personal best as well. And Harriet West just 1/100th of a second. Hurts when that happens, doesn't it? You just think, oh, if only my fingers were slightly longer.
The joys of sport. Yeah, I've been on either side of that. I've won and lost medals by hundredths of a second, and I think that just pushes you on even further. So you know, a good race from the girls there, nice and close, and that's what we need to see. We need to see that depth within British swimming, the closeness of the races, and really pushing up through the ranks.
Like yourself, the British record stands from 2009 in the women's section, as well as yours from 2009 in the men's section, but Gemma Spoffors is still a world record, 58.12. To get inside the qualification time, you've got to go 58.76. We did say the times are tough. That is a tough one.
Very tough, and that's what it's about. It's about pushing the boundaries. It's not about making weak swimmers. We want to make strong swimmers, and you know, sometimes you've just got to go with it. I never focused on the time. It didn't really matter to me. I focused on doing the process within the water, and if I swam that great race, then the time wouldn't matter.
So this is Kathleen Dawson, University of Stirling, coming out. Jessica Fullerlove of Bath University. She's got a personal best, Jessica Fullerlove, of 59.66, done in 2010. And here she is now, all of a sudden, back in the central 2 lanes of a British swimming final. That was Georgia Davies of Loughborough University a couple of moments ago. Elizabeth Simmons, very experienced swimmer, Lizzie Simmons, representing Edinburgh University. Lauren Quigley, another of those that during the closed season leave have switched clubs, so interesting change through City of Liverpool. See if that moves Lauren Quigley on a little bit more. Anna Main of Woking goes in 7. The octopus on the hat inside the red circle for Woking Swimming Club. Chloe Golding of City of Manchester, and on the other side, Kirsty Simpson, University of Aberdeen. Maybe it's raining outside, that's a heck of a big coat. And she will remove that, stay warm as long as she can. I know we were talking about that yesterday evening, about, again, the advances not only in the wedges, but you've also got the coats and just generally trying to keep as warm as you can before you get in. Let's go back to the wedges just before the start of this. Carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying, we got together as a group of athletes and said, how can we improve? There's lots of advances within swimming, but none for the backstrokers. So, came up with a plan, gave that information to Fina, and the rest is history. The wedges were born. So yeah, it's quite an exciting time. Things are moving on, and they always are. There are always going to be advances in our sport.
Keep those tweets coming. Hashtag BSC17. Again, if you want to talk to Liam and ask him a question, now is pretty much the time. We've got him all the way through these backstroke events, so a big thank you to him for volunteering his time and coming up here. And as he says, he's trying to get used to watching swimming as a spectator for the first time in what must feel like an absolute age. I suppose you probably never just did, swimming as a kid. Then you get into it, and then all of a sudden you start competing. So actually, it's probably a novel thing altogether, I imagine.
I think the last time I properly sat down and watched swimming was when I was too young to compete, and I was watching my brother.
Georgia Davies, 28.88 at the turn. Second, Lauren Quigley, City of Liverpool, 29.63. That's what Lauren Quigley will want to see, is improvements from her. But look at this here from Georgia Davies of Loughborough University. She is powering through and is going to come in 59.34. So the reigning champion does it again. 59.34, the only lady inside 60 seconds there, Liam.
Yeah, great performance. She was. I saw her after a race this morning. She actually went a bit deep on her start, so made the improvements for the final, and it paid off. Yeah, good swim for all the girls, but obviously Georgia, nice to dip under that 60 point again, very convincingly, and it's good. It's great to see.
So the confirmed results on the scoreboard, and saw the lady herself just starting to make her way out of the water. Davies, Kathleen Dawson in second position, and in third is Jessica Fullerlove. So Fullerlove getting herself onto a British swimming podium. Fourth in 2014. Fullerlove, she was bronze last time out, and she's managed to come in that bronze medal position as well. So we're going to go down to John Mason next.
I'm here with Georgia Davis. Congratulations, British champion. What a race. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm so thrilled with that time. I'm not sure. I think that's basically equaled my best time from the Olympics in the summer. And yeah, it's the quickest I've ever gone at trials as well. So pleased.
Really pleased. Fantastic. I mean, it was such a race. Everyone in here was behind you. And I know you've made some big changes going into this season. You're now out in Turkey. How are you finding it?
It's a bit weird because obviously it's quite far away from home. But I'm still with the same coach over there, and that was kind of the reason I made the decision to move there, because I liked the training and I knew it was working for me. So, yeah, it's good.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations, darling. You're going to get much more sun than we are. Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia Davis. Thanks, darling. Back to you, Alan.
So, yeah, Liam, Georgia going off over to Turkey, to this New Energy Standard swimming club out there, and that actually was wrong. She's actually inside her personal best that she did out there in Rio. So, we were talking about people just being good and challenging. She's already beaten personal best at this point in the season.
Yeah, and it's fantastic to see. Obviously, it's a big move going out to Turkey, coached by James Gibson. I trained with those guys for years, and it's, I finished at the end of last year. There's lots of changes, as you said, people moving around the country, different clubs. And Georgia has, made the big move, gone out to Turkey, and really wanted to progress things on. And, she's done a fantastic job tonight. She really proved it, and I said about her morning swim and what she did. It was all about the start this morning. It was a deep start, and tonight she made those changes, and it really paid off. A great start, and powered home to the end as well.
So Camilla Hattersley being given her women's 800-metre freestyle bronze medal, and no wonder Kerry Ann Payne wanted some time off. Liam, look at her down there giving out medals. I don't know. That's Holly Hibbert getting a silver, a youngster on the podium. That's what these events are all about. We're taking them from the juniors, we're taking them from the Target Tokyos, and if they can get themselves into a senior final, then albeit, let's go for it and see what you can do. She tried to stay with Jazz Carling through the race, but Jazz had enough.
Yeah, she was strong on the back end there. It was a smooth, controlled race. Probably not as fast as she wanted to go, but, you know, Jazz is a fighter, and, you know, some fantastic medals at the Olympics last year. A bit of time off and a refocus, and she's back here winning again. Brilliant to see.
So we did say that you could send your questions in. This is going to test your brain a little bit here, Liam, unfortunately. A question for Liam from Anne. It says, what was your 100 back time when you were 13?
Do you know what? I get asked these questions a lot, and
well,
I'm useless.
13.
I'm useless. 13, 11, 12, I have no idea. I really don't know. I can't answer that question. I should really try and find that out. For me, it's just all about progression, and you look at those times, how people are doing, but it's all about the next stage. So whatever your PB is at whatever age, look at the people, what they're doing above you, learn from them, try and get faster, and that's what I'd say. That would be my advice.
I can actually answer the next question for you, which is very rare. It comes in from Jasper. It says, what setting do you have your backstroke starting device on, Liam Tancock? It's on the retirement mode.
That is very true at the moment, but it's...
what setting would it be on then?
It would be on the highest setting, usually on 3. So my feet would be higher up the pad, and basically when you do that, you create the most power from the top. You've got to be strong to be able to do it. So if you've got the strength, pull your body up, you can create as much power as possible, get as much height over the water, and focus on diving through that hole.
Duncan Scott of University of Stirling getting his 200-metre butterfly bronze medal. Cameron Brodie there, furthest left of your screen. Quick shake of the hand, and James Guy always looking relaxed, always looking ready to go again, and always prepared to receive a gold medal. Thank you very much to Liam for the questions he's just answered. You've got a little bit more time because he's going to be with us for the men's event in a couple of moments as well, which I know he is looking forward to. Most people recognise him for that event, his event. But now he has to sit and watch it. It'd be good for him to see and judge where some of these youngsters are at. But that's Duncan Scott, Cameron Brodie and James Guy picking up the medals for the men's 200 metres butterfly final. So do keep those questions coming in. It helps if I don't shut down my phone. That's exactly where I was reading them from, so don't do that, Alan. That's a bit silly. Keep them coming. Hashtag BSC17. If you are watching on the stream, try and include hashtag stream as well. That way we can distinguish who's inside the venue and outside, because we are using the same hashtag. Talk to me about your preparation. You know, I always ask the guys who sit next to me, because obviously everybody is different. What was your preparation for a big event?
It was more about staying relaxed. You know, in the taper phase, I still talk about it now, it's better than Christmas. It was amazing. It was one of those times you train really hard all through the year, and it's the cherry on top of the cake. It's the icing. It's that last little phase, and you know, part of it's psychological, part of it's, you know, it is very mental, but it's all about recovering that body and getting it prepared to fire at any given time. And a lot of work and a lot of effort goes into producing that, and that's why you need the right people around you. You need to listen to your body, and you know, be ready for when that gun goes off.
I once had a conversation about this with Ross Davenport, and he said to me he once laid on the settee and refused to get up and go and get the remote control because he was rested. Didn't want to break it.
There's limits and there's boundaries, and I don't think I'd go that far.
Trust Ross Davenport, eh?
But yeah, I know Ross very well. We trained together for years, and that doesn't surprise me. But no, he's doing a great job, and people do take it to the extreme.
Liam being asked to wave to the crowd Hopefully those of them that are here tonight listening on to James Gollard and Joanne Jackson. But if you are heading down to Sheffield at any point during the rest of this competition, again, we're only on day number 2, so there's still 4 more great days. If you are a big fan of swimming, you can get yourself to the British Para Swimming International Meet as well next week. That's a 4-day competition. That's not just British swimmers either. That's got some people coming from all over the place. I've seen athletes from Germany and Spain and Uzbekistan all named on the list. So great to get international swimmers from the para world coming here as well. So we'll be interested to see how that one pans out as well. I asked Kerry-Ann this one, Liam. How do you find your event, or does it find you?
I think it should find you. There might be ever since I was growing up, I raced all events, and I would advise that people don't specialise too early. Go out there, practice all events, take yourself out your comfort zone. And I did end up being a backstroker, and I do believe it found me. But people forget I was an Olympic finalist in the Tour de Medley, and that was purely because I used to race all those different strokes, all those different events when I was younger. Everything from the 50 to the 1500, the 400 medley. And it was, I said about the race with David Davis back in the day, and he was a 1500 specialist, 10k specialist, but we were racing in the middle, and that's what makes it fun.
Just in case David Davies missed it last night, do you want to remind us who won?
It's getting embarrassing, this, but yeah, I did take it. It was a few hundredths.
It was narrow, but you got there. So just to confirm that we believe that was actually a new personal best for Georgia Davies in that women's 100-metre backstroke race. There's a slight delay here inside the venue, so we apologise for that. Luckily, beautiful people of Ponds Forge waving. They can see themselves on the big screen. And the guys here, this is one of the hardest jobs, isn't it? The parent, the parent or the person that takes their son and daughter to the pool morning after morning after morning, and then they sit there for the entire competition as well. They've got some skill.
It's a full-time job. It really is. Yeah, no, it really is. And it was for my parents. It was the early mornings. It was before school, after school, and my parents loved it. But it was really nice for me to get to a level where, I used to travel the world, and they used to follow and, be in the crowd and relax and just enjoy the event. So, but I leave. Everything's down to my family. They, that support at the early age really allowed me to perform. We were driving all around the country on the weekends, and me and my brother Ryan absolutely loved it.
And it's some life experiences for the younger swimmers as well, isn't it? If you manage to go, take this year alone, for instance, there is a chance to go to Israel. You might not get that again. There's a chance to go to Indianapolis. You may not get that opportunity to go to America again. Hungary twice, of course, with the World Juniors, but then, of course, with the World Championships. They are life experiences. You can talk about the university games in Taiwan as well. So, there's big opportunities to go to some far and wide places that you may not get in life.
Yeah, and swimming's taught me a lot. As I say, I've travelled the world just swimming. I've met some great people, and I've learned some great life lessons as well. And all those experiences are very, very special, and things that I take through the rest of my life. And I probably didn't realise how much swimming taught me from an early age, but all the way up to an elite level. The transferable skills into the real world, it's really helped.
Jessica full of love here, getting her 100-metre backstroke bronze medal, 60.52. Kathleen Dawson will get the silver in 60.22. Somebody has dug out your 13-year-old record. Would you believe? Georgia Davies, in a moment, though, will take the title and be crowned British champion once again. 59.34. A personal best. She's going even quicker, and that can only be a good thing for British swimming. The Loughborough University swimmer smiles and waves away, and she'll get a picture taken by the press here. Thank you, Ben Cross. Liam Tancock, 100 back at 13, was 105.84 at the Nationals. There you go.
There you go, I like it.
He's already forgotten.
105.13 sounds good to me.
Yeah, it sounds good to you. Lewis Artist says that watching the swimming is making her realise how much she misses training and competing. There you go. Ian, I think that's Ian Phillips, says, when do you start to taper?
Oh, this is a dangerous game.
$1 million question.
Yeah, and it changes. It literally changes every year, and it changes as you get older. You're developing, you're getting more muscular, you're getting older. So, Usually, girls tend to taper less because of the body types and stuff, but that's only a general rule. And also, the older you get, and the more developed and muscular, the more time you can you can taper for. So it does change. It's very individual, and you can't go off just one rule for one swimmer. It has to change and it has to evolve, and that's why you need, to really work closely with your coaches to make it right.
One last one before we start this junior final, hopefully. You might like this one. This comes in from Street Swimming Club. It says, Liam, will you dust off your trunks if they add a 50 backstroke to the Olympics in Tokyo?
Do you know what? They've been saying there's going to be a 50 at the Olympics since, well, before I can remember, definitely from Sydney. Every 4 years they say they're going to add the 50, going to add the 50. I'd love them to add the 50, but unfortunately my time's done. I'm going to be watching from the sides. But, I think it'd be great for our sport if we did. It's a showcase event, all the 50s. Everyone loves it. It's always a close race, so why not? Bring it on. But I won't be there, unfortunately.
No, lots of really good questions all of a sudden just flying through. Some are quite open-ended, but we're going to go to the action now, and hopefully we can try and wedge a couple in. Wedge, you see what I've done there? Oliver Fitz and Ives in lane 1. James McFadden of Wickham District goes in 2. Darryl Murphy, Ealing in 3. Elliot Clogg, City of Sheffield in 4. Scott McClay of Perth City in 5. Nicholas Pyle of Newcastle in 6. Joseph Small, Ellesmere College, goes in 7. And Jacob Greenall, Taunton Dean, goes in lane number 8. Again, the crowd waits for the start.
Right, here's the first final. Let's see what they do. It's all about the great start today, all about seeing what's going on.
So underneath the backstroke flag, and you only see that at speed, but you all of a sudden start to count in before the turn.
Allowed up to 15 metres off the wall. Not a lot of those guys using the 15 metres, but that comes with age, comes with practice and comes with training. I'm sure they'll be watching the guys after in the Tokyo final and the main final, and they're going to see them pushing the boundaries there.
So Fit, McFadden, Murphy, Clogg, McClay, Pyle, Small and Green now battling it out, and it looks like Elliot Clogg will have the better of them all as he comes to the wall. He had to stretch a bit. 55.62, not much in it. 56 exactly, and it's less than a second between all three of them because Scott McClay gets in 56.60 for Perth City. The results on the board, we pretty much say that's a fairly decent time at this age, isn't it?
Yeah, it's better than my 103 when I was 13. No, it was a good race, and what I like to see is, one thing I struggled with in my race was dying at the end, really fading off, and that's what I worked on, especially at the latter part of my racing years. And these guys were holding nice strong stroke rate coming into the wall. Not the best finish, but it was there. Lots of things to improve on, but these guys are young, and it's nice to see.
An open question that we had here, Liam, was my daughter's a swimmer and would like to know how many hours or sessions roughly you did a week when you were about 30, but that literally just changes per person, doesn't it?
It does. It massively changes per person, per venue, what club you're at. Swimming's all about having fun, and when I was 10 I was loving it, and when I was 31 I was loving it, and that's what it's all about. I was super excited when I got to go to my first morning training session, and I almost begged the coaches to allow me to do it. So everyone's different. Everyone's, you're going to say I'm a little bit mad now, but it's not about pushing the boundaries. When you're very young, I think it's all about being athletic. I played rugby up to 15 and absolutely loved it. You know, I ran at the local running club, I swam for the swimming club, Exeter City. And it's just about being athletic. If you're an athletic individual, that will transfer into later years, into later sport. It's not about pushing everything at the beginning. It's about getting those skill sets and becoming athletic.
Craig McLean, University of Stirling, Daniel Cross, Loughborough University, Perry Gardner, Plymouth Leander, and Edinburgh University's Christopher McComb. I love the fact that you said, I'm going to call you Mad. You're sat next to me. It's just going to rub off on you after a while. McLean, Cross, Gardner and McComb. Kerry-Ann Payne just wandering past us. Did excellent medal presenting duty just a few moments ago. So here we are in this Target Tokyo final. Only 4 athletes of the age group that were required to be in this final actually going here. So we'll get a good look at all 4 of them.
Dan Cross from Loughborough had a very good start there, coming up at 15. What I talked about before, it's all about using that underwater, using those leg kick. It's actually the second fastest part of the race, the fastest being the turn, the next being the underwater. So if you can use and utilise that as a skill set, you're in good stead.
And it is indeed Cross that crosses the 25-metre marker in first position. He's at about half a body length lead as they come to 15, and well, the rest will do well to catch him from here then. So Daniel Cross looking comfortable for a victory in our Target Tokyo final, and he comes in a 55.40. Perry Gardner 55.96. Craig McLean in 56.63. So just the 2 gentlemen inside 56 seconds in Cross and Gardner. There's the results on the board. Daniel Cross there, Liam, obviously from Loughborough University. Did you find that as you got older, some of the youngsters coming through at Loughborough would look towards you or ask you for advice going forward?
Yeah, I think that's one thing I really like to do. It's not just about my competitors or the people come through in my events, but you know, I love talking to people and giving my advice back, and you know, I've travelled the world doing it as well, which is really nice. So even to some of the best people in the world.
So we're going to take a look back at Chris Walker-Hebburn from this morning, some of the footage that we've got from him, and talk to me about Chris. Obviously you've been on teams with him, you've seen him progress through, and he is a talented swimmer.
Yeah, very good guy. We've had some very close battles in the past. You know, we've won and lost some, both of us. So it's yeah, it's nice to be, you know, sat on the side watching and cheering and supporting this time, rather than being in the lane next to him and fighting for that medal.
You know how much effort he's had to put in to get there, and all you've had to do is walk up these stairs to get here. So
that was tough.
Winner. That was tough indeed. So Chris Walker-Hebburn alongside. Here's another young man, Liam. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Xavier Mohammed just always seems to be there or thereabouts. He would love to just see that progression, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had a fantastic year last year, and you know, a good heat swim this morning, and we're going to be looking across the board of the whole final now, and there's some great guys, and I think it's we're going to see some good swimming.
So another one where we've got some tough times. The British record, as we mentioned, is 52.73, and Liam can answer that one. The actual qualifying time, though, is 52.74. So you've actually got to come pretty close to get inside the qualifying time, and again, that's just the selectors saying, "Come on, let's move this forward." Yeah,
and that's the way it should be. You know, very close to the British record. Chris is within a tenth of that as well. So yeah, it's going to be a fast time to make it onto the plane, but these guys have got a shot.
So from 8 to 1, it's Williams, Elwood, McNally, Mohammed, Walker-Hebburn, Greenbank, Balderson and Human. I knew that Liam Tancourt was going to do exactly what he's just done, and he stood up. He was far too excited to stay sat down for this event. I knew that was going to happen, and he has not let me down. Away they go then. Chris Walker-Hebburn, a man whose hair I'm jealous of every time I see it. He will try and lead this from the very front. He just goes out and goes at it, doesn't he? That's his style.
Yeah, and it is all about that. You know, it was a decent start, not the best start from Chris. Looked a bit deep. Came up just before 15, but he's straight into the smooth swimming, and yeah, coming into the flags now, into the turn.
So at 50, let's take a look at these times. 26 42. Mohammed just 0.35 behind. It's Joe Elwood then who follows him from that. So a bronze in 2016 for Mohammed. He sandwiched you, Liam Tancock, between Chris Walker-Hebben. You took the silver that day. Craig McNally has picked up medals in this event before, back in London in 2015. He was a bronze medal winner, but it's the man here who's won the title for the last 3 years running, and he's going to do it once again here at the wall. 54.24 is the time for Chris Walker-Hebben. Second, Luke Greenbank, 54.75. The 19-year-old won the Target Tokyo title last year, so it's good to see that those events are now providing us with somebody else to come and step on the podium.
That's what it's all about. It's a stepping stone to the next level, and I think that's really, really important. We're seeing some guys step up. We're seeing some people missing out the junior finals and going straight into the senior ones, and that is really good to see. When you go to these major meets, we're going to see the best people competing, and there's going to be people that aren't in this final tonight going to be medaling in Tokyo in 3 years' time.
So Xavier Mohammed does exactly what he did in 2016. He's got himself a bronze medal. He's on the podium once again. We'll be moving into 200-meter breaststroke action fairly soon. And I'm sure we'll go down to see John Mason.
I'm a new British champion for the 100 metres. It was 50 last night, 100 tonight. Congratulations, Chris. Now, you're going into a new season with a new coach. How's this season shaping up with that new programme?
Yeah, good. I mean, change is always good, but a little bit disappointed with that. But take it as a starting point and see how we go from there.
Absolutely, mate. It's a long road to the season and the rest of the events this summer. Congratulations. Look, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Walker-Hebben. Back to you, Alan.
Thank you very much, John Mason. Sometimes, actually, Kerry-Ann Payne, hey, welcome back. Sometimes it's nice to see them that they're disappointed. It shows they care. There's work to do there, and he knows it. He was happy yesterday, quite openly not so happy today.
Yeah, it's a different day. You know, he probably did quite a lot of hard swimming yesterday. So actually then today, you know, maybe he didn't have as much of a sleep as he wanted, or, you know, any one thing could have made a difference. Different race, different day, different event, but he's, you know, he's a fighter. We know that. He's got lots of things still to come.
A big thank you to Liam Tangle, who just joined us for all of those backstroke events. Who better to have as a guest for the backstroke? How was your backstroke, Kerry-Ann?
It was pretty good, actually. I had a pretty good
I'll keep you next time, then. I'll keep you here.
Not as good as Liam.
Liam got some great questions as well from our viewers. Most of them all aimed at the age of 13. He's forgot his phone. Go away. Most of them all aimed at the age of 13. If you want to follow Liam on social media, do so. Get those questions back into him, and I'm sure he'll answer the ones that we didn't get time to do. Can you remember your times from when you were 13? I'll come back to you on that. Charlotte Riggs, City of Birmingham, goes in 1. Rosanna Arnold, Planet Swim in 2. Becca Klein, City of Leeds in 3. Layla Black, City of Leeds in 4. Amy Bell, City of Sheffield in 5. Annabelle Guy Johnson of Monson goes in 6. Abigail Jack, City of Leeds in 7. And Amelia Monahan of City of Peterborough. 4 ladies, all beginning with the letter A, going in 8, 7, 6 and 5. That sometimes catches you out, things like that. Just silly little things you notice. Hashtag BSC7. Crack on those phones in your hand, those devices in your hand. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag stream. We'll try and do what we can. Okay, 200-meter breaststroke action now. And, well, in the senior finals, we'll be looking towards people like Molly Renshaw, who's coming up a little bit later on in that senior final. The qualifying time, so you know, is 2:22.33. But if you're just tuning in for this junior final, a reminder that people are swimming in junior and Target Tokyo finals for the opportunity to go to Indianapolis for the World Junior Championships, the European Junior Championships taking place in Israel, or the European Youth Olympic Festival, which takes place in Hungary, as well as the World Championships, of course, that takes place there a little bit later on in the year. How have you found tonight so far?
I think it's been a really good night. There's been a couple of races that, you know, people maybe didn't swim as fast as they were hoping. Jazz Parling in that 800 freestyle. And then, you know, Chris Walker-Hebben saying the same there, that he wasn't quite happy with that time. But then you have people like Adam Peaty, had a great swim this morning just off that world record. And then we have, this afternoon. And then James Guy as well, doing a 1:55 for that 200 butterfly. I spoke to him just before he got his medal, and he was like, I didn't think I was going to go that fast. So, you know, a lot of people are surprising themselves and doing really great swims. at this meet, and then some not doing quite as well as they hoped. So that always happens. Day 2, generally ups and downs.
Again, from a selector's point of view, they're not just looking for born winners, they're looking for people who can bounce back from disappointments, from defeats as well. So, you know, coming 3rd here or 4th here, but swimming out of your skin, that's not necessarily a massive negative, is it?
No, not at all. And we have lots of juniors, as we saw earlier today, making those senior finals. So yes, it might not seem like the swimmers are quite as fast as they were hoping, but actually, you know, they're getting that experience, and they are target Tokyo 2020, a lot of them. So the target is Tokyo.
Look at the battle here. You know, some people say, oh, well, the junior and the target Tokyo, there's not, you look at this. Tell me it doesn't matter to these 3 ladies who are absolutely going for it down the final 10 metres. In lane number 4, it's the City of Leeds and Layla Black, who has got the best of the swims as she comes in. Now, we're going to have to wait for the official time here. Layla Black was quick.
Looks like she's
The
come up with maybe a
16-year.
2:29.
Yeah, well, we'll wait for the official times to come forward. And there they are, 2:29.74 for Layla Black. Annabelle Guy Johnson of Monson got in at 2:30.30, and just 14/100ths of a second behind that was Amy Bell, City of Sheffield, and the 4 ladies with the letter A lined up next to each other, and they actually finished in a line as well. There you go. So Guy Johnson, Bell, Monaghan and Jack finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Arnold in 6th, Rigg in 7th, and Rebecca Kleins in lane 8. There they are climbing out.
A little way off her personal best there, which was a 2:26 for Layla. So, you know, she didn't look that happy getting out of the water then, but she's still, you know, she's the British champion for that women's junior 200 breaststroke final. Now we're getting on to the target Tokyo 200 meters breaststroke final.
So we keep these questions coming into us. Ollie has kind of given us an open question here. Predictions for the Open Ladies 200 metre breaststroke final. Will the British record fall? Oh, talk about putting us on the spot. 2:22.33 from Molly Renshaw, that semi-final performance in Rio. Is it going tonight, or is this too early in the season for either of them to go at?
It would be amazing if we saw that tonight, but I would suggest that it is too early in the season for the girls. I know that there is that bit of rivalry there. You know, Molly did break that British record in the semi-final of the Olympics, but Chloe ended up having the better result in that final. So, you know, Chloe will want to take that British record if she can. Molly just wants to prove again, maybe that she's still got it. She's still that British record holder for a reason. So they are going to be, you know, it's going to be a race tonight, but it's year 1 in a 4-year cycle, and I would love to see those British records be broken as well in the major meets.
Well, that's the main final. Let's target this one. This is the target Tokyo final. Neve Robinson from Mount Kelly in 1, Rebecca Burton, the City of Peterborough in 2, Emily Wood, City of Oxford in 3, Keris Coley, City of Newport in 4, Cara Hanlon, Edinburgh University in 5, Emma Day, Loughborough University in 6, Sarah Tripp, Guildford City in 7, and Lucy Bean on the buzzer from Loughborough University goes in lane 8. Keris Coley just 18, Emily Wood just 17, a few 18s and 19s after that. Emma Day 20, and Neve Robinson just 17 as well. So the youngest of them all is in fact Neve Robinson out there in lane number 1.
200 breaststrokes are really, it's a really tough race to pace, and the only way that you learn how to do it is by doing them. You don't want to start too hard, you don't want to go too slow. We were talking this morning about drag and about propulsion, and this is one of the races, like the 200 butterfly as well, that really has such a big impact. You have to work really hard to be really streamlined. You have to use a lot of your strength, a lot of your power to glide through the water, rather than it stop you every time, and you're bringing half of your body almost out of the water, which makes the rest of your body sink lower in the water. So the first 100 is usually, you know, I'm not saying it's easy, but the first 100 is generally kind of fine, not unless you're sprinting the first bit, but then you get to that sort of 150 mark, and it just, if you've done anything wrong, or you know your stroke starts to break apart, then that drag is such such a drag basically.
So it's Emma Day looking to get away from Cara Hanlon and Keris Coley in lanes 6, 5 and 4. And in fact, there's a nice diagonal line going from 6 all the way down to 2, because it's Day, Hanlon, Coley, Wood and Burton. That's the complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 was Lucy Bean at that 100 metres. 7 was then Robinson, and Trippin 7 was 8. You get my gist. Turning here with just 50 to go. They're 150, 158, and this is where you just dig deep and go. You've got to start, and if you any chance of winning your race, that last 50, as you talked about in your video, that's your last chance. Push off and give me everything you've got.
Yeah, and on breaststroke, these girls will only really be able to see in their peripheral vision the lane next to them. They won't be able to see anywhere past that. So, you know, we've got lane 4 there. She's got lane 3 coming up behind her, which is Emily Wood. But actually, Cara Hanlon's having a great last 50. Coming in to sort of just about 10 metres, 15 metres to go now. And Cara's really putting a sprint down that last 50. And now it's all about making sure that you spot that wall, which she's done beautifully there. And that's Cara Hanlon from Edinburgh University touching first. Emily Wood, by the looks of things, from City of Oxford touching in second, and Keris Coley from Newport touching in third. We have that now confirmed. We've got Cara Hanlon first with a 2:31.39, Emily Wood second, 2:32, and Keris Coley, she is third from City of Newport in a 3:23. Your results are on your screens now.
Yeah, there they are. Hanlon, Wood and Coley. That's got to be the funniest tweet I've seen of the day. David Ebanks, by the way, born in 1982, just 1 year younger than myself. He's obviously now back at home listening to the stream. He's just put, I was racing Adam Peaty this morning, and now I'm back with my 2-year-old trying to find out his favourite swimmer. I can't hear it at the moment, but I'm going to guess that his son says Adam Peaty.
Adam Peaty.
Ouch.
That's beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
That's all right, our daughter just says, Mama. Doesn't even recognise me.
Well, I do love that you have these 3 pictures in front. I'll take a picture of that and put it on my Twitter as well, of your family right in front of you, which is
yeah, everybody doesn't know. I've 3 kids, and somebody asked me about my scarf, my lucky scarf that's always with me. It's here.
Yeah, I can see
it is here. My lucky scarf travels the world with me, as well as my pictures of my kids and my family. And me on my wedding day, that's just to remind me that I was once thin. Once. Just on that day. Here we go. 200-metre breaststroke final coming up. And that is, of course, Chloe Tutton.
So
Jocelyn Ulliott comes out in lane 5. Molly Renshaw in lane 3. Out in 6 would be Katie Matz. And coming out, that's Hannah Miley in 2. Georgia Coates in 7. Distinctive yellow cap for City of Leeds. Abby Wood in 1. And Megan Morrison of Loughborough University. That's our final athlete. And here we go. Wood, Miley, Renshaw, Tutton, Ulliott, Matz, Coates, Morrison. That's a great lineup.
It's a really good lineup. Lots of names that we know in there. We got Hannah Miley. She's known for doing so many events, and this 200 breaststroke is a favourite of hers. The breaststroke part of her 400 medley is always a good one, so great for her to be doing these events here and racing the best that we have in Britain. And we have Chloe Tutton, you know, we've got Molly Renshaw, 2 Olympians we have in this race. Both of them made the final at the Olympic Games, which is just amazing. Breaststroke for men and women in Britain is just coming on so much. But that's certainly not to forget Jocelyn. She had a good swim this morning. You know, she's placed in lane 5 there. Katie Matz, she's in lane 6 from Stockport Metro. She also had a nice swim this morning. And then Georgia Coates, another Olympian. We have 4 Olympians in this race. That is amazing. 4 Olympians.
Tell me we don't have talent here in Great Britain, and
Georgia
I will
Coates,
show you this race.
Exactly, Georgia Coates, she did the freestyle event. It's a sprint freestyle event. So she's doing 200 breaststroke. Certainly not an event I would ever have done, but that is for sure.
Is the race between Tutton and Renshaw, or will they get a surprise from Ulliott or Matz? Hannah Miley can never be discounted. Abby Wood on the outside. We've We've got Coates and Morrison here. We are about to find out. Let's click the old seatbelt in and let's watch this 200-metre breaststroke action. Lee Rose says good luck to Chloe Tutton, and Tutton and Met Runshaw just had a great year, didn't they? They're both getting to those Olympic Games, competing hard, swimming hard against the best the world have to offer, and you just shouted at the TV score. I was lucky enough to be around. You were shouting at the poolside and just really pushing them on. But here in 4, it is Chloe Tutton of City of Cardiff, 1:08.31. A reminder, the first place and qualification time that you need, 2:22.33. And once again, the atmosphere inside Ponds Forge really trying to push those swimmers on. Swimmers from the side, parents from the side, coaches from the side, all wanting people to get through. And Jocelyn Ulyett is making a right big challenge here, Kerry-Ann Payne.
She's doing a really good race. The last 50, like I said earlier, you only see in your peripheral vision. So, Molly might not be able to see that Jocelyn in lane 5 is doing a good job. All three of these girls, in fact, are going to want to get that time. They're 2:22, which is really close to to what these girls can do, the British records as well. So it's in fact it's pretty much exactly that.
It is the British record. And look at Jocelyn Ulyett here.
She's decided I have nothing to lose in this race. I did a good heat this morning, and I am going to show that I can do a really good race. We've got 15 metres coming up to sort of 10 metres to go, and the crowd really is lifting up Jocelyn. She's doing a great last 5 metres here. Try and get to the wall as quickly as she can as she touches the wall. We have to wait for those results to be confirmed that she's at 2:22.08.
Smashed it, picked it up and volleyed it outside of Ponds Forge. What a swim from Jocelyn Ulyett, and it is inside the 2:22.33, which is the British record, of course, 2:22.33, and we wait for it, and there it is.
There it is.
Look at that, Kerry-Ann Payne.
That is amazing. Molly Renshaw coming there in second, and then we have Chloe Tutton in third.
Well, the old record, it stood at 2:22.33 from Molly Renshaw in the summer in Rio. That time there confirmed at 2:22.08, which is a British record. Jocelyn Ulyett has taken on the reigning British champion. She's taken on the reigning British record holder and just said bye-bye over the final 20 metres. Kerry-Ann, what a swim.
Such a good swim, and it was really nice there just to see Molly go across under those lanes and give her a big hug. She's did a really good swim then. Chloe in lane 4 there, she's looking a little upset. She'll be upset because she wanted that British record and she wanted to be the one on that team, and Jocelyn did that. Consideration time, British record, consideration time, World Championships.
People behind us are just starting to measure up a brand new tracksuit. Jocelyn Ulyett needs to get herself into a bit of a tracksuit, maybe try a bit of a fitting on. Do you get measured? Do you get a suit? I don't know. But certainly Jocelyn Ulyett will be looking forward immediately. It won't sink in tonight, will it? It'll be tomorrow, and all of a sudden she's thinking, I was going to do something later on in the year, but now I'll have to go to the World Championships.
With that holiday I'd booked, I'm going to have to cancel it.
Are we going to refund? Right, so well done, Jocelyn Ulyett of Loughborough University, with Renshaw in second, Tutton in third. This could be emotional with John Mason.
Now our final interview of the night is a big one. Jocelyn Ulyett, congratulations, not only the new British champion, British record holder, and I can confirm you're on the plane to Budapest. How do you feel?
I don't know. I've really surprised myself today, but yeah, no, I'm really pleased with that.
It's such a fantastic race. Now, I know you want to get off and celebrate. I'm not going to keep you. I'm just going to get everyone in here to give you a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, new British record, our second athlete of the championships on her way to Budapest. Congratulations, darling. Get off. Right, back to you, Alan.
Thank you very much. There's a few tears in the crowd. Liam Tancott was cheering away with the Loughborough boys and girls down on poolside here. What a way to end night 2. It was kind of the same way we ended night number 1, didn't we? We had Adam Peaty last night smashing through his qualification time. This one, a British record. She'll get one of these things here. It's shining away on that pillow. She'll get herself a gold medal. Can you tell me how you would have felt the first time you picked up a gold medal at an event like this? What's going through her now?
You just smile. You're just so happy. She's got so many different things that she's going to think about now, and things that are just going to keep happening. Oh, I won the British Championships. Wow. Oh, I broke the British record. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. Oh, and I've got the qualification time, the consideration time, sorry, to go to the World Championships, all in the same night. And then she's got to come out, have an interview, then she's got to go and get a medal, got to get her tracksuit on, and she's not even seen her coach yet. So by the time she goes around to see her coach, all the people that she'll walk past in poolside will be giving her that little pat on the back to say, well done, what a great job.
She'll start to get some new experiences. I'll talk about that in a second. Xavier Mohammed is collecting his medal. And we've got silver for Luke Greenbank.
He's joined that Loughborough program now with Mel Marshall.
And then we've got Chris Walker-Hebben picking up yet another 100-metre goal. It was interesting, actually. Liam was talking about how he won't be overly happy with that. He will just be trying to think, how do I go better? How do I go stronger than that? It was weird, last night he talked about how happy he was, and tonight he was quite visibly not so happy. But he's one of those that will just go back to the drawing board and go, carry on, let's see what happens next time. Yeah,
he's got a new coach, he doesn't have changes, he's dealing with a brand new coach, changes in Bath, Joel Fink is up there now, he's now training with James Guy. I had a quick word with Joel earlier, and he was saying that basically Chris's program is brand new, so he's trying out new things. Clearly it's working for that speed element, because he had a great race last night. Still things to work on that 100.
Here's a question for you. Are you ready to see the person with the biggest smile inside Ponds Forge tonight?
Yes, I very much am.
Here she comes. Melly Renshaw is happy and smiling, the old British record holder, also on the podium as the old champion, and she's probably the most unhappy of the three here. You can see it on the screen. Chloe Tutton, hands on her hips, she's going to get a bronze medal, but I'm going to say goodbye for this evening with Kerry-Ann. You're going to go down and see John Mason. Thank you very much. We'll hear from Kerry-Ann a little bit later on. Jocelyn Ulyett standing in the middle. That's Chloe Tutton getting the bronze. A silver's going to go to Molly Renshaw. I'll talk about all the new things that might happen for Jocelyn Ulyett. Her phone will probably not stop ringing. She'll be getting sent social media messages galore, maybe more so than ever before. People will want to talk to her with a video camera and a microphone, maybe more so than she's ever had before. Get used to it. Keep swimming fast. That's what happens. Adam Peaty was talking about that experience, and he just kind of hasn't still got used to it. Well done to this lady here. Jocelyn Ulyett has won herself a gold medal at the British Swimming Championships of 2017. She smashed through the British record that was swum by the lady on her right-hand side, the left-hand side as we look at it, and she has smashed through the first place qualification time that was set out by the people up in the stands. And the two ladies either side of her have got two choices. Let Jocelyn Ulyett continue to be quicker, or get faster themselves and try and catch her next time out. Well, brilliant performances on the night, and Jocelyn Ulyett gets one of those, and I'm going to throw back down to the studio. Make sure you join us in commentary. A big thank you to all of the people listening and watching on the stream. Hashtag BSC17, well, lots of people have enjoyed themselves. Thank you very much for those that have tweeted into us. Don't forget, tomorrow you can do that. Some people have left and they've gone for a small glass of, I'm going to call that tomato juice, Erin Burke. It's not, is it? Well done to all the swimmers. Jocelyn Ulyett was just beaming as she came off the podium. I'm beaming, but that's because I'm going to get to hear from John Mason and the very wonderful Kerry-Ann Payne. Have a great night, people.
Well, there you have it. That concludes day 2 of the British Swimming Championships. What a night we had. Wasn't it absolutely incredible, Kerry-Ann?
Oh, just such a great race to finish on. Another British record from another girl at this competition, another woman, sorry. And just the smile on her face then was just amazing. And British record, she must just be like over the moon right now.
Over the moon. And, you know, we all sort of, absolutely swam for her life tonight. We were looking at it. She's only the second athlete to be confirmed on that plane to Budapest. Her and Adam Peaty, who's a world record holder, so she must be absolutely buzzing. But it's not all, is it? Tomorrow, we're doing it all again. Who can we look forward to seeing then?
Well, we have the men's 100 freestyle tomorrow, which is a race that I really can't wait to see. We've got Duncan Scott, we've got a whole host of other athletes who are on there. We also have the women's 200 butterfly tomorrow, I think I saw, and then the 400 medley as well. So there'll be lots of really interesting races happening tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it. I know you are as well. Hopefully you are as well. Check us out at the website, of course. We're going to be live tomorrow morning. We'll see you then.